Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. And today we have another exclusive for our company. It's a Ardmore, vintage 2009. And Ardmore is one of the very few distilleries in the Highlands which produce a very intense smoky whiskey. Ardmore is a distillery which produces for the Teachers Highland Cream. And this malt whiskey brings the smokiness into the Teacher's whiskey. So whenever you belong to the people who like Teachers, this one is the real spice out of it. This one is cask strength, which is not typical for the unchill filtered collection of Signatory Vintage. Therefore, there's no tin with it. And you got the cask strength instead. It's 59.6 and it was distilled on October 22nd, 2009 and bottled on August 23rd, 2018. So it's close to 8 years and 10 months, so close to 9 years. It was matured in a bourbon barrel, and I read on this sample I got for the selection of this whiskey that is matured in a whiskey barrel which contained a smoky Islay whiskey just before. So this is second fill, and not only smoke from the Ardmore distillery itself, but as well a little additional smoke from the casks which were used on Islay before. Cask number 706,318 and bottle number 160 out of 273. So it's a normal bourbon barrel because this is 0.7 liter and the cask contains 208 liters. Yeah. There are two other bottles, comparable bottles from Signatory Vintage, the independent bottler from Pitlochry in Scotland, on the market. There is a very cloudy. This is a young Ardmore as well, but only with 40% ABV and unchill filtered. Means it's cloudy. It's very cloudy. And there is, I think, a normal unchill filtered with this silvery shining tin with 46% ABV. I looked the old video up and the cask number of this very cloudy were in the 705,000s. So there are a lot of barrels produced and a lot of them went to Signatory Vintage. So there should be more supply. I will not open it because this is an exclusive cask and every bottle we open isn't there to be sold. And yeah, it's smoky, and yeah, it's 318. Yeah, it's the same sample because you select those casks from those samples, and you get a lot of them or several of them, and then you decide that this is better than that is better than this, and so after all, you end up with 2 or 3 casks which you think are very good. And then it takes a few months, in this case more than 2 months. It was selected, or the sample was drawn on June 14th, 2018, and the bottling took place on August 24th. So there are some weeks in between, but that's not that long that the content will change a lot. So tasting with the sample is okay. But during the selection, you compare the samples against each other. And now I'm, comparing it with other whiskies I had before, on which I remember well, and not differentially between those casks. So this is very smoky, and if I would guess, it's 40 ppm. And this is a little less than on Isla's south coast, where they go up to 50 or 45. And this is not very medicinal, not that strong, stinky phenolic hospital. But this is more, well, a late bonfire where already some smoke is rising because the flame has went down and the combustion is not that complete as it is in a full bonfire. So there is some medicinal note in it, but it's not that strong as it is with other single malts. But it's very intense and smoky, and after some sniffs you realize that there is some citrus, some citron juice behind. Yeah, there's some vanilla showing through. But this is, well, the main character. It's the smoke and it's this citrus note. So due to the high strength, I will dilute it, of course, not to harm my tasting buds on my tongue. And now more and more is rising from those compounds which can't stay in solution any longer because I reduced the strength. And the citrus note is becoming stronger. And it's pleasant. So my nose says, well, the smoke, you smelled that long enough. I don't have to repeat that. So look at the other aromas in this whiskey. And more, it's this citrus note. This is the distillery character, and the cask shows through with a little vanilla. I just brought it down below 50, so it's still strong. And the citrus note brings some dryness at the roof of my mouth. Yeah, drier. And the smoke clads my mouth quite long aftertaste. So this one is just right for the connoisseur who likes a smoky whiskey and isn't prepared to have this full impact cask and so on. This is a straightforward, not too complex smoky whiskey, one of the smokiest whiskies from the Highlands. It is. Yoda. Yeah. So this is it. This is a limited bottling, but there are other more or less comparable casks on the market. Have a look and you will get your hands on one of those bottles. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.